Oh, welcome back to the shop, guys. Today I'm working on the Barracuda, and I'm going to build some exhaust, see if I can make something look good, sound good, do what I needed to do, get the exhaust at the back, fire up the Proformer. Got a couple 10-foot sticks of 2 1/4, which will be plenty for this 317, I think, horsepower ride. Got some AP accelerators. They should do just fine. Offset in, offset out. Let's get to work. So, got a pretty good gap there. Could probably still come forward with it a little bit. The drive shaft will be higher in the car once it's on the ground. Cut you off right about here to get our muffler as far forward as we can get it. And then we'll worry about our up and over after we do that. Let's make our other pipe, and then we will weld them in. And then our mufflers will be on. I'm going to change that out for something different, something better on both sides. Probably right into my seatbelt brackets, because I can burn into those without melting stuff inside the car. And we got to drop the fuel tank down out of this so we can make a return port, but that'll be after I get the mufflers hung. So I trimmed my ends to get a little better fitment, and I think that's gonna work just about right. There. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld this pipe in. Happy with my fitment. Let's get my welder set up. Let's move forward. It's going to be nice and up and high. This head is actually the lowest point of the car. Actually, that head is going to be the lowest point of the car. Let's come out. I'm going to come over. I like to keep them wide through here so the transmission can be removed. So I'll tuck it in just like this. I'll come back and through and up. Tuck it up tight to the belly. It's a little extra time to make them nice and high and tight, but it's worth it. Probably helps to turn the machine on. Alright, I got a good gap here, so I got to go up. And then over and down, and then straight back on this frame rail, and then my outlets will come out right there, and the other outlets will come out right there. Stainless tips, 45-degree scarf cut. Should look good. I think I'm going to go ahead and burn this guy in so that he's stationary. And then I'll work on my other front pipe, get my other muffler up to here, and then I'll worry about my tails. At least this gets me moving in the right direction. I do need to put an O2 bung in. I'm going to put it right about here at a 45 degree. and that would be my sensor for my fuel injection system. Can't have any leaks here or heat. Well, I'm going to be pulling off of this exhaust bank, so I can't have any exhaust leaks in this side. I figure this side is easier to service than this side if I get a header gasket leak or if I have to take something apart. I feel like this side's going to be easier, so I'm going to put my O2 bung here. Ooh, I got to make my new transcooler lines too. Maybe I can get those done today as well. Let's glue these two pipes together. That'll work. So I glued a stick onto the end of the stick to make it a little longer so I can make my 90s. And I glued it together there. I'm not a great welder, but I can get the job done. Oh, it's looking pretty good. Keeping it up tight. Bring it in, make a 45 right about here, and then a 45-degree back about there. Lop it off where I need it, and hook her up. Let's make those bends now. Well, I've never tried to make a bend right on a piece of weld before, and needless to say it failed. I'm not all that surprised. But I'm actually just going to weld it shut because it'll be fine. I'll know next time to just cut the pipe back before my bends, seam them together back here, and then make my bends on a fresh piece of pipe. But I think it'll work out all right. I'll just fill that minor crack with some filler rod and move on. But I think my pipe's pretty close, so I'll clean that up and we'll stick a muffler on there. All right. This is pretty much looking like what we're going to have. And I got a slight cant to them to raise the tail outlet point. Got good clearance everywhere. And the drive shaft will be up probably an inch from where it's at now, maybe 2. Looks like the back of the left muffler needs to come down about an inch. The fronts look pretty squared up. I think I'm going to burn this pipe in. Heck yeah, making progress, one piece at a time. That one go right down my shirt. Will wake you up. Alright, so I dropped my exhaust back down so I could finish my weld all the way around and make sure I don't have any exhaust leaks. The O2 sensor from the Aces kit does come with an O2 bung in the box with the O2 sensor. So I'm going to weld this onto my spot here, make sure that I don't have any leaks. That'll be that. And I'll show you if you want to be on the. I'll show you when it's up in the car. You want to have the O2 sensor at an upward angle coming out of the exhaust so it doesn't collect moisture in it. Embarrassing. That's the dumb stuff I'm dealing with right now. I've had really bad luck the last few days. Made some very expensive mistakes on a couple of my own projects. Let's try not to continue that path of dumb mistakes on this thing. Looking pretty good. Let's weld that in place. Got a little spot there. Where'd that come from? I didn't want that little pinhole to be a leak, so I laid a little more glue on top of it. Should be alright. So, let that cool down. We'll put that back up in there. We'll make my tailpipes. Oh, I can do much better than that. Looks pretty dang good to me. Now you gotta do like a little. Now I gotta do it again. He wanted a 2.5 stainless steel tip scarf cut, okay. Which I haven't found yet. So you want to do some options for a 2.25 to 2.5 stainless steel scarf cut straight tip. Stainless, not chrome. Stainless. Polished stainless. And then it'll just be a straight out scarf cut, which will actually look really good with the tail panel. Yeah, the tank shifts over to allow room for the factory exhaust. Which I got to drop the tank down after I get the exhaust done. That way I can drill my hole for the return bung. Because they have one of those rib nut return bungs. But I figure I'll probably just use the unit bit to drill it out. I just don't want to have it explode in my face.
Is that how you want to be YouTube famous?
Not YouTube famous for me. I've had enough mistakes. Alright, that turned out looking pretty good. I'll make a new hanger for here. Probably come off the seatbelt mount. Should be right. That one's a big bend. It's like 80 degrees. Yeah. It's either gonna be right or it's not. Looks like I managed to save it without having to cut it. I'm just going to do a stainless 2.5 tip, scarf cut. I'll probably run them back a foot. But I'm good and clear. Turned out looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'll have my exhaust hangers here in a day or so. I'll be able to put in my hangers and the exhaust system will be done. Your O2 bung, you always want to have it north of horizontal. You don't want to have them upside down. You always want to have them pointing up. I like it at about a 30 to 45 degree angle. It makes sure no moisture gets caught in the tip of the O2 sensor. You have to make sure you don't have any exhaust leaks here, 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 or at your head flange. It's critical for any fuel injection system to work correctly. You have to have a good reading of what your exhaust is doing, and if you have an exhaust leak, you won't have that. So we're using the ACES system. I'm going to go ahead and drop this thing down. I'm going to mount my fuel command center right here on the inside of the engine bay. That way it's visible, show it off, looks good. I've got my all my hot feed from the battery is going to come in here. I've got a pass through to come through the tow board right there. And I'm just going to run the electrical cable on the inside of the car. That way we don't have it dangling down. You don't have any risk of bottoming it out and grounding it anywhere badly. Everything's looking pretty good under here, so I guess I'm going to drop her down and do some electrical work. Yay, everybody's most favorite thing. Well, I didn't get any work done on this today. I was busy, did like 4 alignments and an oil change and a tire rotation, and I'm diagnosing an excursion for misfire number 5, which also has a weird whistle, which may or may not be an intake manifold leak. But I've got another Infinity QX80 sitting out there I have to diag as well. So thank you for sending us your Infinity QX80s. We appreciate you guys that want to fix those. I was sitting around last night and I was thinking about all the stuff I need to do, and to get it out of my head I wrote it down on a piece of paper, so I have a list of all these things are things for me to do on this car to move forward. And I like having a list because I have a list of little things and I can knock one thing off the list just focus on that one item, focus on that one item, focus on that one item, and it allows me to get all of these things done, and it allows me to feel like I accomplished something. Because when you're at this stage in a project and you have 150 little things to do yet, it gets overwhelming, and I get distracted really easily. So if I've got all these random thoughts in my head, I end up not getting anything done. So I like to make a list, and then when I complete this list, I'll make the next list of things that I can think of that I need to get out of my head and on paper or written down in my phone. So, but anyway, it's coming along. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Exhaust turned out nice. My polished stainless for my tips showed up. I'm waiting on my exhaust hangers. Once my exhaust hangers are here, I'll finish weld my tailpipes. Then my exhaust will be completely done. And yeah, so next thing's going to be building some electrical bits and a whole bunch of other dumb stuff. But, you know, to make a nice, clean, finished product, it takes time to do that. And that's where we're at, is the long drone of little bits to follow up on. At any rate, thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, leave us a comment below. Have a safe day. Tell us what you think about the Barracuda project so far. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, we picked up our different cap. I'll show you that in the next episode. We had a clearance issue with the post style cap against the wiper motor of all the random things that you're going to run into doing a repower. That wasn't something I thought I was going to have to resolve, but we found a solution for that too. So tune in on the next one and we'll show you what we're doing there. You guys have a great day. See you on the next one.